My gosh, sorry team, those who are here, just major OBS issues. Sorry about that team. I did 2 walkthroughs and just having an absolute nightmare with OBS here this morning, unfortunately. All right, good. What a nightmare. All right, daily has been bullish. Okay, let's wait for some people to come into stream. What a nightmare. It's something between OBS and YouTube just didn't want to work. All right, daily's been very bullish, but we're expecting a pullback for longs to be interested in. We don't want to be long at the highs, and you will see that ES, we had divergence. ES broke out of the highs and or like did a failed breakout of the high, which is what I was talking about pre-market, which none of you could hear, which is fantastic. So sells right now, strong momentum downside. We might come and look for GlobeEx. If we get stuck underneath GlobeEx, we're going to look for previous day low. If we get stuck under there, need to be very careful that this market doesn't go risk off. I felt like last week was a very big squeeze. That's all it felt like to me. I want to be careful. Morning team. So sorry about that. Nvidia was the one today that looked weak for me pre-market. And that's what's dragging this market down right now. You see Nvidia left buyers trapped. If you zoom out, Nvidia left these buyers trapped up here. Everything else looked pretty bullish, but what I was saying pre-market is if you see Nvidia drive in and fail, it might drag the market down with it back into these levels here, which is what it's starting to do. I'm so sorry, team. I went through pre-market twice. Absolute nightmare. I don't know what OBS is up to today. So finding a bid there off the VWAP for now. ES going again. So these buyers are trying to have another attempt here. If we start to push up here and start to find sellers, we might rotate lower. ES with relative strength here. ES looks very good compared to the Qs, and that will be due to Nvidia. Trying to get an order in here up top. I don't like that stutter that I'm hearing as well. Now I'm wondering if it is internet issues. What I'm thinking about here is if we get a failed rotation in that next move higher. So I'm looking for a push and a fail from there is where I'm trying to get my order in right now, if it will allow me. Oh, please don't need me to do a reset here. This is the last thing I need on a Monday morning. So holding VWAP, ES failing PDH again here, watching very closely if we set a lower high here. If we don't set a lower high here, then I think we're going to go for a drive higher. But if we set a lower high here, there's a chance we start seeing some failing in this market for a wash lower. VIX down at sub 25, watching very carefully how it acts here. And there's a chance for this market to wash lower here if it starts letting go of GlobeEx and VWAP. So if it starts failing versus GlobeEx and PDC for a fail under VWAP, for a move back down towards the lower end of GlobeEx. That's what I'm looking for. Why has it just put my limit in now after 2 minutes later? Wow. Clearly something going on. Clearly some tech issues here. So looking to see if we build something out here to move down into GlobeEx. If we reclaim this level here and ES shows strength to pull us up, we're going to go for previous day high. Remember, NQ hasn't taken out previous day high. ES took out previous day high and found fails. ES right now is right the way up here with a wick top above it. So if ES is going to pull us through, then we're going to keep going. So I'm watching carefully because so far we have a bit of divergence. And that's all being caused by Nvidia right now. And the market's starting to rotate down in tech. Nvidia 2.27% down. Google a third of a percent down. Amazon just gone red on the day. Microsoft 0.5% down. Apple holding on to green. Tesla the strong one, 2.35% up. Everything else not looking too pretty. Here goes ES. Back to PDH. This will be key here. How we're going to act here is going to be absolutely key. Is ES going to go on a ripper and pull us through? Or are we going to have a failed break again on ES and then start to find sellers and watch the NQ rotate for those overnight lows? That's the question I'm posing right now. VIX trading towards lower day, ES trading towards higher day, NQ just sort of stuck here. So don't really want to make a decision until I see the others show a bit of clarity here. Don't want to get caught in a squeeze on the Qs if ES is going to drag us through. I was looking for longs today, but I was very, very aware about the failed breakout of the highs. And we're just back into previous day range here, so also need to be careful about. Looking like it wants to try and break down. You've got VWAP just hanging there as support right now, but that's where it's trying to break through. So finding a bid off VWAP. ES trying to get going. Keeps finding sellers every time it comes up there, ES, in front of previous day high. It's got through once today. We're asking the question, do we create some form of bear flag here to come lower? Or are we just going to reclaim and go fully bullish above this? Divergence in the tape between the two. That's the big thing right now. ES with relative strength today. What happened to Nvidia? Just trapped buyers. The buyers from Friday are trapped. It's simple as that. So we gap down a little bit, and so far those buyers become supply. It's just a technical breakdown, nothing more. Nvidia had some news this morning about trying to release like a cheaper chip for America. There's nothing more than that. Okay, so little squeeze up here. Here goes ES. Does this market want to get bullish and get back above all these levels here today? Looking very, very bullish here. ES about to make a new high. Need to be careful. If ES makes a new high and NQ sweeps previous day high and then we find sellers, need to be careful. Overall, I'm bullish. Here comes the VIX starting to break down. So we're starting to reclaim. So it looks like no follow through to the downside here so far. Mixed bag in the mag, though. I never like seeing that when you've got some up big, like Tesla's up 2%, Nvidia down 2%, Meta's up 1% or just under, Google's down 0.75%. Apple's up 0.5%, Microsoft's down 0.5%. Never a good thing for the Qs. This looks pretty bullish so far. Here comes the breakout on ES. New high of day on ES. Are we going to see follow through here in the market? Plug power, 40. What is it up 40%? Is it really? I haven't looked at that for years. Holding bids so far. This market is holding bids so far. It looks like it's trying to get upside here. Previous day high will be the low-hanging fruit target through there. We're looking for that old high move. Where are you? All the way up here into 20,000. 19,800 and 20,000. Sellers at the open here so far. That open print. Letting this shake out. Haven't even set our opening range yet. A couple more minutes. And we can think about if we're really going to get squeezing. VIX is weak here under 25s. And this is what I'm talking about. If VIX is going to break down today, if we're actually going to have continuation today, then we can go screaming upside. Just going me get a little refill on my water here. Be right back. All right, here's your low-hanging fruit, previous day high. So they trapped the sellers there, no follow-through. ES was the clue, VIX breaking down. Now you need to think about two things. Failed breakout on the previous day high, or a sort of consolidation of range to go for that next leg. If Friday's afternoon and overnight was just consolidation of range, we should be thinking about next leg higher to, what did I say, 19,800 and 20,000. Here goes ES on an absolute screamer right now. So we've taken previous day high now. Can we find some consolidation? Like we need a bigger breakout here first, and then a pullback in to show us strength. But it looks good here. Very, very strong. So we're looking for a drive up and a pullback to hold effectively what will become the orb for a move into 800s. And if we get through 800s, sort of 20,000, that old wick high from the 1st of April, no, 2nd of April. And we can think about the 200-day moving average as well, which it might want to backtest. This looks starting to look very bullish here. So if I just stuck to my thesis of being a buyer in this market this morning, which I talked about pre-market, but no one could hear me, and that just sort of set me off on a terrible start there, knowing that no one could hear me. I said I was live and I was talking to you all, and there was nothing happening in chat. I was reading out all your names. And I thought, this doesn't sound right. Right, opening range now set. So can we pull back and find a bid here? That's the question. If we're going to get expansion, we want the flow zones to support. So we will need a pullback and a bid to be supported, especially on the ES and the spiders. Spiders are very strong. If you look this morning, pre-market, we drove up in the morning, like pullback. We held previous day high on the SPY, and we're just in a big push upside from there. The spiders look very strong right now. So a bit of a pullback starting to occur here on the ES. Can it build it in NQ? Nothing, just printing new highs, new highs, new highs. Are we going for a squeeze out here? Are we going all the way to 800s? Looking good for a squeeze out. VIX back testing in towards previous day low here will be key. That divergence this morning did not make it easy for those trading NQ. I'll say that much. Need a pullback here towards that previous day high is what we would like to see. Man, all my charts are on like the wrong times. I don't know what's gone on here. Here we go. All right, so we've got that opening range now set at 600. So that's kind of your risk. If you're looking to be a buyer, you'd like to see it hold sort of 600 down to 90-ish, basically previous day high. If you're looking to play that orb for the extension higher, failing under that, then we're going to go and back test New York and the flow zones. And failing under that, you'll be careful. I'm still playing a little bit of catch up here, having to put everything on NinjaTrader. I would say all of this area here is key. If it builds here, we'll go higher. If it starts failing here, this will be the drift. Market is bullish, though. Overall, we are bullish. You've got your opening range set now at 600. Here's the orb test and previous day high test. The scary thing is looking at ES, if it's going to back test previous day high, it's another 10, 11 points down. That's the tricky thing right now. They are not aligned in terms of positioning, but potentially trying to build out a flag here. I'd rather it take some time and flow zones catch up and we can build something out here to go higher. And if we fail, then I can think about that rotation. Still early on in the session, folks. There's the fail. Oof. Big old fail back down towards those flow zones. ES hitting previous day high to the ticks. This is what I'm saying. We have divergence across the board here. You have to be careful. Watch your sizing, watch the volatility. Just sat letting this shake out for a minute. I don't mind being a buyer, but we're up very, very, very high. The question is, can we go all the way up to 800s today? We've now taken previous day high. If they want to just take that liquidity and roll inside, they can. So I think the better trades are going to come Tuesday, Wednesday this week. So I'm very, very aware of any traps here this morning. NQ now underneath previous day high. ES still holding strong above it for now. Coming back into the VWAP off the open print here and the flow zones. Like I said, they will have to hold this kind of area if they are going to remain bullish for the session. If they get stuck here, we're probably going to go lower. But watching ES for guidance here. It's still holding previous day high. Dips are still holding so far. Weekend was good, thanks. Yeah, nice and relaxed. My wife wasn't too well, but other than that, it was all good. How was everyone else's weekend? I didn't do a lot. I just watched a lot of TV. I watched that new Apple series. Can't think what it's called. Is it Bad Neighbors or something Neighbors? Started watching that last night. Very good. Some weakness here as we go back to previous day high on the ES. Does it find buyers there? Yeah, I think internet's fine. I think I might need to do an update on OBS. Your friends and neighbors, yeah, really good. I really enjoyed it. Started getting stuck into that last night with my wife. ES still holding previous day high. We're midpoint in the orb here on the Qs. They're going to make it way, way more tricky. Market is complete mixed bag right now. Look at your mag. We are a mixed bag right now. It cannot make its mind up right now. This is looking a little heavier for a potential wash, but all the time ES is holding previous day high. You have to be very cautious. We're back to New York and VWAP. Why is New York, which is the 30 print? That is wrong. That's why I was like, why is that different? There we go. ES still holding previous day high here. QQQ on its previous day high. SPY nowhere near it yet. So relative strength in the ES and the SPY here. Like I said, if it holds this and it builds out liquidity, whether it's this or something like this, then we might have that drift higher. If we start failing here, we can think about lower highs and lower lows. If it pushes and fails again. We're just inside range still for now. We're still inside previous day range. Remember, previous day high, it's a failed breakout so far. If it gets back above that, we have range expansion. If this next push up starts to fail, then they can try and set a lower high and a lower low. If we start reclaiming, they're going to go for that inverse head and shoulders look. And the ES is absolutely pivotal. It's still holding previous day highs. VIX is turned upside, starting to reclaim, back testing 25s now. These are big levels that we're starting to trade around here. They're going to have to make some decisions. I would say someone gets hurt at some point today. We start letting go here. Here's a potential higher, lower high. Do they set the lower low? If they get the breakdown here and we get that flag move lower, and I'm going to look for that trade all the way down underneath the orb and then maybe even lower if we're going to get really heavy towards GlobeEx. Let's see. Starting to join this short now, folks, for that lower high. Being very careful with New York here. Being very careful watching ES. That previous day high on ES, all the time that's holding, I'm not going to size in. Nice. There's our break of structure. So looking for a continuation all the way down now. Want all pops to start failing here. Want to be careful if ES starts absorbing the previous day high. Same with the SPY trading into VWAP. So already moving my stop into the money here. I mean, very, very cautious just because of those two things. ES is into SPY is into VWAP here. ES is dancing around previous day high. They can find some bids here if they want. And remember, those have been dragging the market up this morning. But I think if we start letting go, if we start getting stuck underneath these VWAPs, we have a better trade all the way down to GlobeEx low. If we get stuck under that, we go previous day low. Absorption there on the SPY. You can see it. Tap right into VWAP, found a bid. Small bid, but it's found a bid so far. It will be a battleground today, folks, right? This is not going to be easy. Think about how big a move that was last week. More selling here. We're underneath previous day high now. Do they let go of the VWAP here on the SPY I'm talking about? Nice. Here we go. Just trailing now a little bit. Hasn't really given me much of a pop to size any more into. So down to where we found a bid this morning. Want to be careful here. This was New York, found a bid here. We'd really want to see something like this, or if it builds out here, that would be fantastic as well. Sorry, my cough's still going. Cannot fix it. Might need a doctor's visit. Weakness here in the market. Looking for pops to fail now, and we're looking for a new low of day, really. We've got that lower time frame algo and VWAP at 508. So might try and find a little pop off that, and then looking to see if there's a way of adding some size on for a sell here. And then if we take out the opening range low of the session, 480s, then I think we've got a move down to 390. So we've got about 100 points there available if they can just build out a little bit of liquidity for us here to play with. Remember, this is where we found bids this morning. They're trying to come in and bid off the same level right now. Not surprising. Right into VWAP here. Big levels here, folks. Remember, we'd expect some retracement higher unless they just start giving way. I haven't got enough size on this. If they start giving way, it is going to be what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. They've not given me the opportunity to add any more size in, just trading down right now. We'd like to see a pop back up off some of this support and then for sellers to come back in. We'd like to see some liquidity built here after the failure to get above. Oh, don't just slam down, and then we're looking for a trade down to here. Come on, market. I got a tiny one on, and that's it. So failed breakout of previous day high is the play so far. We are coming into areas we found bids in overnight. So if we start letting go of these, we're thinking about that rotation down to GlobeEx. Now, ES is coming down to its VWAP and PDC here. SPY coming down to its PDC as well. So, you know, if you're in this, you want to be taking a little bit off proactively. About to print a new low of day here, but we're into big areas on the ES more than anything. Relative weakness in the Qs for sure. There's your sweep. Can we get down to GlobeEx now is the question. This is your first TP here. into 480s. If we start letting go of this, we're going to go all the way down into GlobeEx. That's what we're looking for. Remember, this is a straight down move. You really need a bit of a bounce to add any size onto here. You do not want to be slamming these lows, but so far, just drift lower. Look at VIX. Reclaim 25s and off to the races. Come on, market. Give me something. I want to size into this if you're going to do this move. Don't do it with a little one guy on. Oh, my gosh. SPY's getting weak now as well. Everything getting weak. I'm just looking for a pop here. I just need some kind of move upside first. It's just not giving it. Straight down. Coming all the way for GlobeEx right now. So GlobeEx lows are into 92s. ES finding a bid off that lower time frame algo there. So let's hope we get a little squeeze up here for a back test of VWAP or something on the ES. And the same on NQ would be nice. Build out that next leg. We can think about that move lower. VIX really gunning now. In Tesla giving pretty much everything back there. So looking for a drive up to sell into. Looking for a drive up to sell into right now. Every pot being sold right now. This is heaviness in the market. Absolute heaviness in the market. Continues to sell. I've just got my little one guy on. That's all I can do right now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Right, well, one guy it is then. As we go down, go down towards GlobeEx, so unless you got that with me, you probably struggled to get in. We're going down towards GlobeEx and point of control. We want to be risk off here. Ideally, we want, you know, something to form to get more sells into so we can get some more size on. And then we're looking to cover into here. We do not know if this is the pullback leg. We're trading back towards old points of controls here. And like we said, I felt like the last few sessions have been giant squeezes up. We will get thin. If we start getting underneath GlobeEx, we've got to trade all the way down to previous day low. If we get under there, we're into very, very thin structure. We've got some single prints we can go and attack. Yeah, they're not. I agree, Aga. They're not making it easy to catch a trade. I took this here once we started breaking down here. Oh, underneath there, I took it, but I'm out now, just a one lot. I want a drift up to come lower. Needs to build liquidity out now for me versus some of these. We've just swept all these key levels. We'll need to build some structure out here to go lower. Nice cladding. Yeah, very, very nice. It just kept going, didn't it? We were like, come on, please pop for us. Please pop for us. No pops. Whole market gone red now other than Tesla and Meta. All right, the rest of the market has all gone red on the day. So that failed breakout was the key. We had to wait for both of them to do it. In the morning, when we thought about the short, NQ hadn't taken out previous day highs, but the moment it took out previous day high, everything changed. Sentiment changed. We are into areas of support now. So we're looking for that drive higher, and we want it to be sold into. We're looking for a drive up towards the orb or the VWAP or somewhere up there, and we want to see sellers step in. All right, you don't want to just attack this. If they want to squeeze this all the way back, remember they can. They can do whatever they want at the moment in this market, and they've shown a willingness to do crazy moves like that. But so far, we're expecting this drive up to be sold into. It's just how far can it get up? Remember, not much structure on that move down, pretty much straight down. We want a drive up to be sold into. New hourly bar here as well, folks. Point of control on the session right now, just shy of 500 into 93s. It's basically around that VWAP. So I'd say this flow zones and VWAP will be key, become key here. So how do we act into these flow zones, into this VWAP? Do we find sellers there? This is sort of into that key level. ES back to PDC and VWAP. Not seeing much on the book, I'll say that much. It's the one scary thing. But we haven't taken out GlobeEx right now, so I expect a new leg. I'm expecting something to be sold into here. I'm expecting to build out a leg. But if they don't, if they start reclaiming these, this is possible. But I expect something like this to come down into here right now. But you know what type of market we're in. This market will do whatever it wants, as we well know. Can do big moves down, big moves up very, very quickly. Especially like with news and stuff as well. VIX finding a sell there at 25.60, and that was aggressive. So you'd want to see if VIX find a bid here at 25. So if it doesn't find a bid at 25, this market's going to become very hard to trade. We're not going to become directional. We're going to become a rotational market, which is my least favorite market to trade. ES back to, sorry, SPY back to PDH here. There's VWAP. They're starting to try and reclaim here. Frog in my throat. Meta finding a bit of a bid. Tesla finding a little bit of a bid there. Remember, we were thin, very, very thin on that way down. It was a straight move down. We would expect sellers to come in, but they're not showing any signs of coming in yet. I'm watching SPY into VWAP. I think that's going to be key over-under for me here. There's some selling starting to appear. And can we get some form of breakdown here? Are they actually interested in doing something? Yeah, it's reclaimed the orb, hasn't it? It's definitely making it tricky. ES is back testing a key level here, though. I think ES is the one guiding the moves here today, and it's had relative strength. So we want to be careful if that's not just a trap to go back to point of origin, to go back high. So I'd say ES versus 555, 556, 557, somewhere around that will be key for sentiment. You would expect sellers to come in around here, but whether they do it or not is a whole different ballgame. So here we go. Potential breakdown here. Now, if you're going to take this, you've got to be proactive towards the low of day that we've already put in. All right, because if they want to pivot this and put a higher low in, they will. Starting to see some selling now. Back to the orb. You do not want them to keep reclaiming this orb. I've got error messages now. Fantastic. What is that about? Please don't give me these tech issues that I had like months ago. Don't want any more of those. Looking at the H1, it does not look very pretty right now. Look at this H1. Danced back down, swept this, trading back upside. This is not a range I really want to trade in. I either want to trade up here or down here, or I want fails for that move or bids for that move. I don't really love new positions here other than if we're going to get follow through. Big if right now as ES starts to reclaim PDC and VWAP. I want to see if ES is going to let go here of PDC and VWAP. So far, it's holding it. Would like the short, but not convinced yet for this sort of flag breakdown. Tesla finding a bid. VIX found a bid at 25.20, 25.20 like we talked about. And can it drive back upside though? That's a question. Oh my gosh. All right, if they start breaking here, then they're going to put in high or low. All right, this is what you've got to be careful of. So what I said, if you're going to take this, you have to be very proactive into these levels. I still think there's a short here, but ES is showing relative strength, so I don't want to front run this. View up on this session, 529s. ES still holding PDC and view up here. Very, very strong from the ES. So what I'm concerned about here is ES is showing an unwillingness to go lower, and VIX is going back down again, 25.10 again now. Timing on this is not going to be easy if they're going to let the short happen, and they're not so far showing that they want to let that short happen. Market not in unison either. Tesla almost 1% up. Nvidia 2% down. Meta 0.5% up. Google over 0.5% down. Amazon gone green to red, holding around PDC. Microsoft 0.33% down. Apple 0.08% up. We are not in unison in the mag right now. They're all doing their own thing. So the chop might continue here for a little bit while it makes its mind up. ES looks pretty strong to me though. It looks like a sweep on ES. Unless they find sellers in this old pivot range in front of previous day high. That would be the question. I'd love to have a continuation short here today because I think it will offer the easiest thing rather than a trap long all the way screaming back to the upside. But so far, no sign of continuation short here. And we just held view up on that last little dip in on the Qs. And VIX finding a bid. So complete divergence here in the market. This is, I'm not very interested in this right now, folks. This feels trappy both ways. Someone's going to get hurt here soon. I'd much rather this breaks down. If it shows me clear breakdown, then I'll join. Back to view up again. The tape is thin. Like, I don't remember seeing the tape look like this with like 6 lots and 5 lots and 3 lots on it. It's I don't remember seeing the tape like that on the Qs before. Here we go. So this is a bit more conviction here. Can we get all the way back down now? Can we create that bear flag, that 2-leg pullback? Now I've got a bit more conviction. Now I want to see ES fail VWAP though. If I'm going to put any size into this, ES has got to fail VWAP. I've got error messages coming all over my screen again. What the... I'm going to have to... Fucking... Pardon my French. I'm having one of those tech days, folks. OBS not working. NinjaTrader now giving me error messages when I try and put limit orders in again. Let me just do a little reset here. Oh. Why? Why on a Monday morning? Okay, let's reboot this. Why on a Monday morning, though? What did I do to deserve this? Let's reboot this. Here we go. There we go. All right, back online. Okay, ES is still holding view up and PDC. We are still dancing around. I would much rather see this break lower. But again, you've got relative strength in the ES here. Still, ES is still absorbing, SPY absorbing off the lower time frame algo and the previous day close. SPY is stuck underneath its VWAP, ES stuck above its VWAP. All right, so you've got like the dance basically between these two VWAPs. All right, same as we're doing, ES doing the same thing, same kind of thing. Sorry, chart. I want to wait for something a little bit more clear here. Like, I'm leaning short, but I just do not want to get slammed into a short squeeze which goes straight higher because the ES is unwilling to move lower. If ES is just going to trap, then it's going to pull the Qs up with it. We're back inside the orb. Yeah, all the way up into here. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Might be squeezy here. It's trying. I'm flat right now, folks. I'm just watching. I'm waiting for it to like just give me some kind of confirmation. Everything's starting to flatten out here. We're trading near the lower side of the opening range here. We're stuck right underneath GlobeEx highs. We've got previous week close and the deep pullback flow zones right above us, and then New York above that. I just want to join if and when trend appears. I would much rather take the short here if it sets up. I'll take a long if we start reclaiming, like, you know, daily highs and stuff, and we base out up there, then I'm not against taking a long. But so far, the momentum in this session has come into the sell side. But again, looking at the hourly, I just need to be very, very careful. But if we're going to keep rejecting this, I'm looking for these to get taken out for a move to here. And if that washes, a move down. But at some point, I'd expect them to try and absorb it. I don't mind being a buyer if we base and build way up here. Until that point, I'm not going to fight. I'm just going to let it do whatever it wants to do. Plenty of time left in the day. 15 minutes until the orb. Man, something's going on my computer here. My enhanced chart trader keeps flashing. Anyone else have that? It goes like see-through. Not even in a position. Just moving my chart and it's flashing. Something's up. Something's up. I love a good tech issue. Can't get enough of tech issues this year, it seems. All right, here's the push-pull. SPY back into VWAP for the first time and finding sellers there so far. Say this 500 level, big level for the Qs here. Building liquidity here. If buyers get trapped here and they rotate, we've built up a lot of liquidity to go lower. If sellers get caught here, if they keep forcing the short, and doesn't come, we use their stops to go higher. So this is why I want to wait and let it show me, and I'll build afterwards. VIX failing though, back to 25 evens. I desperately want a big higher time frame sell in this market because I'm not in enough long term, in enough positions long term in any ETFs right now. mainly in cash right now. So long term, I'd love a bigger fail in this market, but I'd love this whole move up for this week to be a big trap and then to go right back down to yearly lows. Maybe I'm just wanting way too much and it probably won't happen. But from a selfish point of view, from a long-term investment point of view, I want us to move lower. Keep getting stuck here at those GlobeEx levels. ES keeps finding some sellers here into VWAP. Can't get through it right now. Can't reclaim it yet. Very, very choppy here for the last, what's that, half an hour or so? Ever since this was a nice big move. We should be building to go lower, but this is very, very choppy. VIX right at 25s. SPY just under VWAP. ES just over VWAP. Yeah, exactly. Decision zone, AGA. Just let it do it. Let it make its mind up. We can join in afterwards. Just everyone's trapped in here right now. It will have to make a decision. Shorts looking for that move lower because we've just done one drive down, which they hadn't really been able to get into. So they're looking for the move lower. Buyers looking for that higher time frame rotation higher, especially on the ES. Claddon was down 200, now up 200. Was a nice sell move early. Yeah, that's good money, Claddon, like we talked about in chat. Don't be scared to walk away once you make your money. Or rotate to the next account or trade sim or whatever it is you want to do. So SPY trying to reclaim VWAP here for a squeeze up. SPY looking a little bit squeezy here for possibly a retest on the ES of previous day high. Again, the market is, we have divergence in terms of positioning absolutely everywhere. ES about to hit PDH for a retest, SPY above it. VIX failing here, again, sub 25s now, coming back down towards previous day low and low of day. And I'm not going to make a decision in this market when we've got divergence like this. Like the MAG is mixed bag, leaning more heavy. You've got Nvidia red, Google red, Amazon red, Microsoft red, Apple barely holding on, Meta kind of holding on, Tesla green. Bonds are all down on the day. Dixie's down on the day. VIX is down on the day. ES up on the day. NQ down on the day. So if I'm going to get short today, I want to short the Qs. They've got relative weakness, down 0.12% on the day, ES up 0.18%. So the weakness is there. So if I'm going to get short, I'd rather get short in the Qs. Through GlobeEx here, drifting back into New York VWAP and PDC. ES is starting to go here. ES is about to test previous day high. Initial balance will be set in the next 8 minutes. Smaller range today, still pretty good. 189 points, but smaller range. Paul saying news soon. What news do we have, Paul? I don't think I have anything on the schedule. ES failing there at previous day high. That attempt at previous day high. Relative weakness in the NQ here. Is this going to be the breakdown as we go back towards the orb here? And are we about to create new low of days? I can't trade now. I can't get orders in again. I'm not allowed to move my orders again on fucking hell, Ninja. Sorry for my language, folks. This is annoying. I can't put an order in. I can't move it again. This is the same thing as a few weeks ago. That bug is back. Whatever that bug is back. And I imagine it's going to cost me money here because I imagine it's filled me without knowing, which is what it did last time. So I'm going to have to reset and see what happens. Flattening all. Let's close Ninja down for the third time today. Let's do an Apex desktop reset or whatever it's called. Give me a second here, folks. I'm going to have to clear all my cache and everything. Gotta love tech issues on a Monday morning. Nothing better. Fed news, really, Paul. I don't have anything scheduled. I don't think. Let me have a look. What I posted yesterday as well. Oh, Dallas Fed manufacturing. I'm not too worried about that. Still very calm. And there you go. Like I knew that would happen. I've logged back in and it's given away all my profits on the day. This is what happened last time. So it's filling me on stuff which is not in there. So it's not letting me put orders in and then it's filling it without me knowing on some accounts. Oh, so do I cancel trade copier at this point? So I think that's what did it last time. I think it was something to do with the copier. So do I need to be trading one at a time? Lovely. Giving back like $800 out of nowhere. What are you going to do? All right. Do you know what? I'm going to just test it on one account quickly and see if it will let me put in an order. Can I move that order? No, I can't. Okay. So I'm getting this on everything. So that sounds like data issues. So I'm going to say that's not a me thing. I'm going to say this is a Tradeovate thing. Has anyone else had any of these issues today? It's the next question. Let me see if there's anything going off in chat anywhere. It's starting to look like a sell. I don't think I'm going to be able to trade it. This is, I don't know what to do with it. I don't think I can get a thing in. No issues, rhythmic only for me. Yeah, I can't. I literally can't put. This is what happened last time. I cannot get orders in. Yeah, it won't be a ninja issue. It would be like a data center issue. Something like that. Right, I'm going to try and trade one at a time, see if it will let me even do that. ES coming back towards PDC here. FOMO kicking in. No FOMO kicking in. I can't FOMO in even if I wanted to, mate. I can't get an order on the screen, LMNO. I couldn't FOMO in even if I wanted to right now. What I will do though is I will not trade these together. If there's those many issues, I've already given a ton back there. without knowing. This is what happened weeks ago. I'll have to reach out to Ryan again and ask what's going on. There's something it doesn't like when I trade my accounts together, clearly. Okay, ES back to VWAP and PDC, failing previous day high. SPY trying to find a bid of previous day high. VIX just found a bid of previous day low, all the way back to 25 again. This is messy, 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 messy action here. We're now about to set initial balance in the next minute. And we're about, probably around midpoint of that IB currently. Yeah, I can't do anything. I've just tried again to put an order in. It just says I've got too many orders. Whatever I do, too many orders. Wait and try again. Yeah, I can't do anything there. Cannot trade for the rest of the day, it seems. You look good here if ES starts letting go. If anyone knows a fix for this, I've shown you that issue. All it says, any order I put out now, even on just one account with one micro, as soon as I try and move my limit or anything like that, it says I've got too many orders out when I've got no orders out. So if anyone knows a fix to that, please let me know. It would be massively appreciated. ES back down towards VWAP and PDC here. If we start to rotate this, we're going to go VWAP to IB. Crawford, I cannot put an order in either. Okay, so that's making me think it's something to do with Tradeovate. This is what happened last time, and then they eventually came out and said that they had issues. So ES back here again. A rate limit for too many orders requests has been hit. Please wait and try again. A rate limit, that's what I'm getting. I don't even know what that means. So looking good for a potential wash here. For that trade back down towards IB low. If it lets go of IB low, I think we go all the way down to PDC. I'm trying to have another trade here if it will let me do it. I think we go lower. Wonder if it would let me put a stop in. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Will you let me put a stop in? We'll try. We'll wonder if it fills or not. Looking good here, folks. Oh, I can't move my stop. Okay. Try another one. Oh my god. Oh my god. How can anyone trade like this? It's unbelievable. I don't know how I put up with it for so long. All right, trading back down towards that IBL here. ES looking good to try and break down. If it breaks down IBL, then we're going to rotate. Here's your initial balance. If we let go of IBL, we probably come into GlobeEx. If we support IBL, we go back towards the VWAP. Jeez Louise. Here you go. IBL test coming. Yes, IBL test coming. Everything IBL test coming. We built out that liquidity here. Eventually started to rotate from here. If you took this, folks, if you're in this short, please pay yourself a bit here, and then you're holding runners for breakdowns on this. If we get heavy under this, you're looking for the next leg lower. You must be paying yourself into IBL here. ES about to sweep it. Market going red. All of Mag now red. Other than Meta. Meta trying to hold on. You want pops to fail here if you're looking for the shorts. You don't want a big old reclaim off their IB. If they tap IB there, was that a high or low on ES? Did it sweep? Let me just zoom in. Did not sweep. All right, so all the way from IBL back to VWAP here. Choppy conditions. Just be careful if you're looking to trade this. I would expect this to try and move lower. Whether it does or not is a whole nother ball game. VIX found a bit of a bid there as well. I expect this to try and move lower, to try and attempt to get underneath IBL. And then into that GlobeEx. If it starts letting go of that, it's a problem. Rate limit pertains to the API called data centers. I wonder where they route you. Europe just experienced a massive power outage. Oh, well, I'll reach out to them and find. It's so frustrating, though, honestly. Like, just sat here like a lemon. I literally can't trade. There's nothing I can do about it. So I'll just try and teach you guys as much as possible. So if they reclaim, then they trigger a squeeze up. You would expect them to try and build this out here for this move down here and a sweep of that. But ES is being a pain in the butt today, all right? And the VIX is just trading backwards and forwards. You are definitely in chop range here. It needs to fail this for your move down here. Failure to do that, I'd be risk off. I would not be trading it at that point. If it does not show a willingness to move lower, you cannot force your way into it. ES all the way back to VWAP without sweeping that low. NQ is just, NQ. VIX is ugly on a 5 minute. Ugly. Cannot make its mind up what it wants to do. Very ugly. This is not what you'd call a great action here on a Monday morning. Not surprising with the lack of news, no drivers, but thought we might get something a little bit better than this. Meta's just found a bid. Now 0.5% up. That was just red. Tesla the only one hanging on. Is the market trying to find a bid here? ES back to VWAP. SPY sitting on PDC. Again, you would expect this to try and move to sweep those lows. But the fact that ES is acting the way it is and VIX is acting the way it is, it's going to make it hard. For sure, it's going to make it hard. You would expect it to attempt to sweep those lows. It's just showing an unwillingness to do anything in unison today. So it's probably going to trap a lot of traders today, I would say, until it does that move. This is very, very ugly. Like this move here, you think we base today, we push. There's your failed breakout. Okay, this makes sense. They do this dance. They should finish this, and they're not. And ES literally has just done this all the way back up. It's really ugly here. And if you look at the VIX, VIX cannot make its mind up. These traders don't know what they want to do right now. So you just need to just sit back and let this do whatever it wants. Do not trade chop. Back into choppy zone right now. We're in an inside bar on the daily. Like there's flip all to do here anyway. So I'm not missing out by not being able to trade at the moment. All the way back upside we go by the looks of it. Yeah, I've got to get that. Like, I'm going to be honest. What's annoying me is I'm not getting an answer from NinjaTrader on what this issue is. There's been no fix, and this has been going. Anyone that's been watching me knows that this randomly occurs and has been going on for months now. It's got to be an issue their end. The finger pointing has got to stop. Like, I've reinstalled and done everything my side numerous times. My computer is well up to speed. There is an issue their side, and they got to fix it, because being a trader is not easy. The last thing you need is you trying to move stops or limits and it just shooting error messages. That is ridiculous. Ridiculous. So they got to fix it. We've got to find some fixes for retail here. So ES, relative strength here again. Refused to sweep the lows. VIX failed again. Coming back down now. So it looks like you're trying to create that new push for a squeeze higher here on the ES. MAG mixed back again. I don't like what I'm seeing. Anytime I see the MAG that can't make its mind up, where you've got some of it up, some of it down, then you know it's going to be a pretty shitty day of price action, because 60% of the Qs is made up of the MAG 7. If they don't know what they want to do, then the Qs aren't going to know what they want to do. Yeah, gold's been a better trade for a while right now. Up 1.25% on the day. Looks very good. Gold will continue to be a better trade than the market all the time we have uncertainty. Gold is a hedge of uncertainty. It's exactly what it is. This is one thing which I'm finding a little bizarre with this market. All right, I'm just going to speak my mind here. We've done a squeeze last week based on what exactly? Based on what? On what news? On what new parameters does this market want to move upside? On a 90-day pause. Not a 90-day cancel. Not any deals being done. Not any certainty on a pause. It's why I don't trust the move up right now. I do not trust this move up. Everyone's so bullish. I've so many statisticians coming up saying VIX is moving down. This market's bullish. We're going back to all-time highs. Blah, 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 blah. Based on what? Based on what? The tariffs still exist, mate. And gold's still going up. So that's telling me bollocks. All the time that gold's going up, that is a hedge of uncertainty. It doesn't mean the market can't go up higher. Absolutely can. It can do whatever it wants. But I do not think that we are out of, what shall I call it, uncertain territory right now. So I would not be surprised to see this market squeeze up, blow all the shorts out, and then give everything back very quickly. What happens when they come out saying, hey, we can't get a deal done with China? What happens at that point? Tarot cards, yeah. It feels like that, doesn't it? All right, back into chop range, back to VWAP here. Nothing really to do here. We're just trading edge to edge here. SPY rejecting VWAP there hard. Hard. So cash players are short against VWAP on the SPY right now. Is this the move? Do they catch a bid here again on the ES or not? Or are we actually going to rotate? Still think they should clean up the downside here, but they're just showing so much unwillingness. Look at VIX again, finding a bid again, but still trading inside. Oh my gosh, this is ugly, folks. Just do not touch this until it makes its mind up. Someone is going to get hurt so badly in this market. That VIX is one of the worst looking charts on the VIX I've seen for a while on a 5-minute. All the way back upside here again. So I guess the question is, does this play out or does this play out? I don't know the answer right now. They don't know what they want to do, so I don't know what they want to do. Tesla, 0.48% up. Nvidia, 2.23% down. Meta, 0.49% up. Google, 0.67% down. Amazon, 0.27% down. Microsoft, 0.36% down. Apple, 0.07% up. Does that sound like a good trending market to you? Doesn't sound like one to me. All the work's coming from ES here at the moment. It's doing the damage, I think, with the VIX. They're just burning people out of this market. Yeah, exactly, Andrew. All the news is coming later in the week. Tech earnings later in the week. Mag 7 earnings later in the week. NFP Friday. H1 is ugly. Very, very ugly here. It's bullish really on the H1 other than that failed breakout, which is what's going to make trading it hard. But it's ugly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hours sideways, basically, other than that failed breakout this morning. Back to the top side of the range here, this internal range that we've created. Here's your range. Nothing happening until it makes a decision out of this. And even then, I don't trust it because we're just inside a GlobeEx, really. No one really at home on the book. Like, you got 25 lots up at 550. If it carries on like this, I'm just going to get off because I can't do anything anyway. I cannot trade. I'm going to have to email Ninja and hope that I actually get an answer this time. I think it's the one thing I find really frustrating about the retail space and prop space. If you had an issue and you were trading at a hedge fund and you were getting these error messages, you'd be like, mate, can you sort this out or I'm not coming to work? Like, I can't do my job like this. You do it with this space and they're like, oh, it's this person's fault, it's that person's fault, it's that person's fault. No one takes responsibility. So I've been running these circles now for 3 or 4 months. I've had these error messages and no one wants to take responsibility. It's not Epic. It's not Apex. It's not Ninja Trader. It's not Tradeovate. So who is it? Because it's one of those three. No one ever says, hey, that's our mess up. Unless there's like a massive global outage or whatever you want to call it. No one ever wants to take responsibility for stuff going wrong. ES back to previous day high again here. Internal range, inside day, IB rotation day. We haven't actually washed. No indice has taken out an IB high or IB low yet. And we're just basing it in the middle. This is a no trade day so far. We've had one attempt at the short. There was no follow through to the downside. And Alex gave all his day back by doing absolutely nothing. So I'm flat on the day. I was up quite nice. Tesla now go red on the day. Meta now finding a bid 0.75% up. Everything else red other than Meta and Apple now. ES keeps trading into PDH here and finding sellers up there. That's what we're seeing so far. That's like the top of the W, if you want, the middle of the W. It needs to get above that, push, pull, base, and then there's an upside move. Failure to do that, we just go range rotation backwards and forwards. SPY is over its VWAP as well. NQ, yeah, is over its VWAP as well. All the markets over VWAP right now, and now VIX trades back under 25s again. This is ugly, ugly, ugly. No directional move in this market yet. Building liquidity. This is what it's doing. Can hear it in my voice. I am pissed off now with the situation that I can't trade, but it's probably doing me a favor. It is probably doing me a favor. These hourly candles are terrible. This is what I'm looking at. This is terrible. Failure under, repricing in. If it doesn't find a fail to do this, it tries and repairs that, but that is not a good look. It's not a nice looking chart, that on the hourly. It's not what you want to see. That's horrible for this. Shorts tried to get that move there. Longs tried to get that move there. And now we just keep doing this until enough are trapped. ES rejecting previous day high again. Yet again. SPY back to VWAP again. It's a big over-under level. Back to VWAP here on the Qs. SPY under its VWAP. ES trading back down towards VWAP. Do they let this go now, or do they just trap more and more and more and go for upside? I have no idea, folks. Genuinely no idea. My gut is that they should be repairing downside, but it's shown an unwillingness to do it. So you've just got respect. If it doesn't want to do it, it won't do it. You would think normally that we would try and go down towards the IB low, but it's not willing to do it. It's just sat at the VWAP. Look how ugly this is, man. What a battle. What a battle. I'm just watching them here. I think a nasty move comes soon. I don't know if it's a flush or a big boner candle. They've got to have a lot of people trapped here. I think a nasty move is bound to come very soon. Yeah, I did. A big engulfer. Either a kill candle or a boner candle. All right, SPY back to previous day high again. Tapping on previous day high again. This thing cannot make its mind up. Normally, I would say I think we rotate to IB low, but this is not a normal market. William's having internet issues. Market's just playing with us, today? Just making life impossible. These 500s definitely key. ES, VWAP, and PDC definitely key. Is VWAP and PDC again on the ES. If they let go of this, you get a bigger rotation. Market's red now other than Meta. Everything's red now other than Meta. It's the only one. It is the only one. If they let go of these levels, we go back to IB low. If they let go of IB low, we go back towards GlobeEx. So really, if they let go, you're looking for a trade back down to low of day, 433s. If they let go of that, you're looking for a trade into 392s. But this is very, very choppy. If you're attacking this, you've got bigger balls than I have, because ES keeps bidding off PDC and VWAP. We should, looking at the mag, we should be selling, and we're not. VIX cannot get going. It keeps trying to get a base above 25s. It has not once got a closure up above 25s for a move upside yet. That's telling. If it can get a close right now and on this 5-minute bar above 25s and then the new 5-minute bar drive upside, then it's got a potential drive. We did reject the hourly open close into 542s there. ES still holding PDC and VWAP. Yeah, Coop, exactly. VIX has got to find a bidder at 25. If VIX doesn't find a bidder at 25, it's just wedging out. On a 5-minute, the VIX is wedging out. We've got higher lows and lower highs here on a VIX. All right, we are in a liquidity building phase here in this market. Some heaviness coming in here. You see it in the tape. ES still holding on to VWAP and PDC, but you can feel the heaviness in the tape here. I think you might get your move towards IB low here. Definitely going for that internal range, at least at 74. So if you're in this, you can have one TP at 74, one at 45, one at 932s, and then hold runners into the IB low. SPY still holding lower time frame, Algo and PDC. ES still holding PDC and VWAP. You need those to participate in a flush. Synopsis on the day, Brad, is I'm having tech issues as well, mate. So synopsis on this day so far is not to trade. I was short here. Then I had ninja issues all around here. And by the time I'd reset somewhere around here, I'm flat on the day again. I'd like the short down here into this. I think this is possible, but ES is making it very hard. But I think into here and a wash down into here is very, very possible at the moment. Be looking for that move into IB. Need ES to stay heavy, like I keep saying. Must stay heavy here for that move. Everything red other than Meta. Meta the only one holding up right now. Back towards the bottom side of this range. Look at your VWAPs, man. They're all flat. Flow zones are flat. VWAPs are flat. Everything's near PDC. On the spiders, we're right near PDH as well. We're right near the lower time frame algo. Everything is flat. Very tough trading day for anyone interested. This is my trading day right now. These were all up over 800 and sorry, over 100. No, what did I say I was up on the day? Must have been more than that. I'm going to have to go back and have a look now. I'm trading like 15 accounts linked, so I'm trying to remember because I only saw the total figure. Anyway, whatever it was, I've given it back. Not through a trade, through Ninja being annoying. I still think there's a move to IB low here, but you've got to be careful. This is the big bear flag like setting up here. I still think there's a move down here and down here. It's just whether that gives you a way of getting involved. It's going to make it hard because high, low, higher, low, lower, high, lower, high, lower, high. We're sort of wedging in this right now. I still think there's a breakdown is possible. But again, a lot of it is going to rely on the ES here. VIX trying to get going. VIX is desperate to get going. It's going to need to take out those highs of 25.35s for a move upside on the VIX all the way back up to 25.60s. Yes, already reclaiming that VWAP and PDC. They're unwilling to let it go right now. I think it's coming. I think that move into IB is coming, and then below possible. How long we got left? Oh, you've only got a few seconds till the new hourly bar. This will be telling. This will be telling. Point of control on the day currently just under 500. So I think you're okay as long as you're sort of sub VWAP, sub 500. Reclaim of that, and they probably go all the way back upside and trap everyone all over again and continue to build more liquidity out, more liquidity out, more liquidity out until one side is stuck. There you go. ES reclaiming everything again, unwilling to let go so far. Here's your tap into point of control right now. VIX trying to find a bid in front of 25s. Trying to find a bid. It's decision time for the VIX. The VIX can get a move upside here. Market's going to get weak and give you that flush. But big ifs. It's trying. It is trying to find a bid to do it on the VIX. But I would not trust a thing right now. Big battle. Big, big battle. There goes ES again. Finding that bid again. Out of nowhere. SPY checking previous day high again. It's got VWAP above it. If it wants to backtest it, if it reclaims that, it's going to go to the top side of the range. If it reclaims that, it's going to go to the top side of the day. This is going to hurt people. I'm telling you, this is what it's building. It's building lower highs and higher lows. That is telling you it's trapping. It's flattened out VWAP. It's flattened out ES. It's flattened out lower time frame algo. It's flattened out PDC. Someone is going to get hurt soon. I don't know which side, but someone will get hurt. Either a big flush down or big rip up, but someone will get stuck and get hurt. It is a matter of time. That last move on the H1, though, rejected VWAP, rejected point of control in front of 500, like we said. So far, not once today have they got down to that IB low for a retest of it or for a wash under. Sorry, folks. Bias technically is still lower, but it's just I wouldn't feel comfortable betting on this right now, given how the market's acted this morning. If VIX gets going, then yes. Can we get to those IB lows? just constant absorption. There's like, really, the tape's so thin. Like, it's not even come down to test that 450. There's a buyer down at 450, and even he's a 20 lot, and it's not even attempted to get down there to fill him. Can it get down? Can it get down to those IB lows? It's trying. It's desperately trying to do it, and it can't do it. VIX is trying to get going above 25s now for that move to 25 35s. It's trying to do it. It's just really struggling. Does this get down and fill that guy at 50s? Yes, back to view up again. You got massive divergence on the tape here, folks. You're braver than me if you're trading this right now. I mean, I can't trade it. My system's not working. But my gut is downside. It says to me it wants to lean downside. VIX trying to get going here, but I just don't trust this market. Very choppy. Every time we've come down here this morning, we've found buyers. It's what you're in. I think we come down into these. This is what my bias would be. And it hasn't shown a willingness to do it. It's trying to do it. It's just not shown a willingness. It's trying to do these moves here to get down into here. Maybe Euroclose will move it down, yeah. Maybe Euroclose will move it back up. Who knows? It does feel like it's trying to get down there. Clean up my ES chart over here. Here we go. All right, can it do that move now? Can you get into the IB? Can you get into the IB? Are you going to get down there? Do you get continuation from that point? That'd be the next thing I'd be asking. Finally doing it. It's built out all that liquidity. So I'd say all these buyers are now trapped, especially if we start breaking under the IB. All right, so you've got these guys here. This took a long time of building. We said someone will eventually get hurt. This is their pain point. This stop run here should take you down into these levels. This stop run here should take you down to here. If they trap here and come back inside, we go straight back to VWAP. That'd be the IB play. But it's starting to look better for you now. Again, unfortunately, I cannot trade here this morning. I don't know if I'd be in this, honestly. I've kind of mentally switched off a little bit here. Very close to sweeping that IB low now. So if you're in this, please take a partial here, and then you're looking for a runner into GlobeEx. And if you start breaking GlobeEx, we're going to go leg down. Come on, go and at least take the IB low for them. There you go, folks. Lovely, lovely move. So make sure you're taking a partial here. I did try and attempt to get some in there. Finally managed to get one to work, but again, I can't link them. think that's where the problem is at the moment. So you've now swept IB low. ES has not swept the IB low. VIX is starting to go. This is what you want to see. You want to see it trade in unison. We had all that time of like the choppy. VIX is starting to go. So you want to see VIX now break out of 2560, 2575 for that upside move. That will help this market move lower if you're looking to hold a runner. If you don't see that and you see it trade back inside, you need to be cautious. But right now you look good for that move into GlobeEx. Right, move into GlobeEx and you've got old point of control underneath. There you go. Fantastic. Right, starting to approach those GlobeEx lows. GlobeEx low is at 393 here. ES has now swept IB as well. Took a long time. We said someone will eventually get hurt. Eventually you get hurt. And this is what you're starting to see now. Bulls starting to get hurt here. So into GlobeEx here. Just be careful. Can find some bids around here soon. Here goes the VIX. This is what we're talking about. VIX 2560 now. You want to see it just keep ripping upside on the VIX. You must be paying yourself into this orange box here. All right, must be paying yourself into this orange box. This is where we found buyers, not just overnight, but last week. All right, think about this. Friday is where we broke out from, pulled back, found a bid. Broke out from, came back, GlobeEx found a bid. All right, this is a big level here. This is why it's marked out. Respect this level. Make sure you are covering some of your short into these levels. We know buyers have been here a few times. If we start breaking under these levels, like we talked about earlier, if we start breaking under and retesting and staying heavy, we can go down into 200s. We lacked liquidity this morning, so it had to chop. Remember, if we sweep GlobeEx and we turn back inside the initial balance, you need to be careful. All right, if we do something like this, and turn back in here, you need to be careful, all right, because that would be a failed auction and we'll go back towards VWAP. So make sure you are paying yourself in these levels right now, please. How many of you got that? Hopefully some of you did. That was not very nice from it for me. I'm definitely a little bit tilty. A little bit tilty. Like I say it every time you see me on stream when I have tech issues. When I have tech issues, that is a tilt factor for me. Took that short. Array, you got it. Lovely. Tyson got it. Lovely. John Dennis got it. Aga got it. Christy got it. Kaladin got it. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I got it as well. I did get it as well. So you're finding a bit of a bid here back towards the initial balance. Remember, if they reclaim these initial balance levels, we've so far we haven't swept GlobeEx. I don't think. I'm going to double check that. We haven't swept GlobeEx, but we're supporting GlobeEx. And we're reclaiming initial balance. Same on the ES. It's reclaiming initial balance. Hasn't got towards GlobeEx. I'd like it to move lower. Again, what I'd like and what it does are not always the same. Nice, Richard. $500 there. Alan, nice work. Just be careful here. We've shown so far we're in a rotational day. All right, so we're back above the IB. I would like a pop here to move lower, but you have to respect this initial balance. All of market now red. Other than, sorry, Meta still 0.25% up, but the rest of the market red here. Big W for you, Dre. From $47 to $1,431. Lovely work, Dre. Lovely, lovely work. Yeah, it was actually quite a good move when it eventually came. This pop that failed into flow zones. Either you took that or here, or you took that and added. And that was a decent sized move. 70, 80 points. Small W for Paul. Hey, any W is good. In this market, I promise you, in this market, a lot of people got hurt in here. When we're flat like that, just let it build out. Let it start to show you if a trend develops. Then take that leg down. Low-hanging fruit's gone. There is this trade down to here for low-hanging fruit if they want to reject it, but now initial balance is being reclaimed. So we have to be respectful of that. This is an area where buyers keep stepping in the last few sessions. We have to be respectful of that. If they're going to put in another lower high here. All right, we can wait for them to build out the liquidity and come back for that GlobeEx low if we want to. But so far, we're seeing a big reaction off here, aren't we? And look at VIX. VIX needs to find a bid soon if you want any more downside pressure. Needs to find a bid soon if you want downside pressure. This looks good here. If this builds out another bear flag, you'll go for GlobeEx. ES now rejecting a lower time frame algo. You can afford to let this build out some liquidity for a bit. It's a decent move down. You can afford to just let it build out for a bit. Do not oversize in this market. Okay, so one key thing, must not oversize in this market. Here goes IB low, retapping here into IB low. Are they looking for that breakdown back towards GlobeEx? It definitely feels like it. Back in this now, looking for that breakdown towards GlobeEx. Stop already in the money. This is what I'm looking for. Come on, how low can we go? Let's get into GlobeEx. Let's stop fanning around. Let's go for GlobeEx lows here. Already being protective, peeling some off here. Respecting that buyers have stepped in a few times here. I would like to see us go and take out GlobeEx. I want to see VIX build out a flag here on the 5-minute and then absolutely rip upside. That's what I'd like to see. All right, stopping out here. Can always get back in. So locked in a small win there. Looking to get back in if this sets up here for that wash into GlobeEx. Staying heavy here underneath the IB for now. Come and take GlobeEx out here. Come on, market. Come and take GlobeEx out. It's really not that hard. Come on, VIX. Get going. Help me out here. Here we go. Can we get to GlobeEx? Can we get to GlobeEx? We know there's higher time frame buyers down here. You have to be cautious. They've been here multiple sessions. Higher time frame buyers keep stepping in here. Looking for that GlobeEx low. 90s, 390s, I think it is. This is what I want to see on VIX. Can VIX start breaking out now for this 5-minute flag? That will really, really help us go for GlobeEx. If we start breaking GlobeEx, we can think, if we stay heavy, about that move for leg lower, point of control, and all the way down here into 250s. I'm not sure we do that today. The market will really need to roll if we're going to do that. You're starting to see it here. Very close to GlobeEx here now, folks. Almost at TP. Come on. Give me that fill. Don't you dare come short of it. Gotta be joking. You have got to be joking. What did I miss my fill by? Eight points there or something? Come on. Come on. VIX trying to do that breakout that I just talked about. Trying to do that 5-minute flag. That's what I want to see on the VIX. Come on, market. Into 90s. Looking for that snap of 90s. Maybe he's got to build out a bit more here. Come on, market. It really shouldn't be this hard. Here goes the VIX. This is what I want to see. Can VIX expand here? Don't like that on the VIX. Come on, VIX. It's got a minute left. I want to see this 5-minute bar close high. Here you go. Come on. Almost at 90s. We're looking for that move into 92.25 is GlobeEx. $20 seconds or so left on this 5-minute bar. Just want to make sure VIX closes high on this 5-minute bar so we can open up and drive on the next 5-minute. Almost there. We're so close to TP. I don't want to be overly waiting for it. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. We're at whole number 400. Locking some in here. Here we go. Right, GlobeEx now taken. Low-hanging fruit's gone. So make sure you're paying yourself here. GlobeEx now taken. Here goes the VIX 5-minute breakout possible here. Here comes the VIX for that 5-minute breakout. This is what I'm looking for. Remember, your low-hanging fruit just got taken on the NQ. I want to see how low we can go here if you're still in for a runner. Remember, point of control not too far away. We might come and back test that. Beautiful from the VIX. Exactly what I wanted to see. Should be runners only here now, folks. This will need to build more liquidity out if it doesn't do a straight flush move down. Hopefully some of you are still in this or paying yourself for this move. Beautiful move. Best move of the day. Best move of the day. Staying heavy here. It is staying heavy here versus GlobeEx. That's what we talked about earlier, isn't it? If it stays heavy here versus GlobeEx, we can go down for higher time frame algo. We can go down for point of control. We can go down to 200s. If it keeps staying heavy versus GlobeEx. Let's keep going. Keep going. 80s. Let's go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my God. Moving stop close here. Trailing my stop now. This is what I wanted. Let's go. Man, I wish I was on all my accounts here. Frank the tank, baby. Into point of control we go. All right. Make sure you are paying yourself into these moves, folks. If we stay heavy versus GlobeEx, all right, point of control, we stay heavy versus that, leg down all the way into 200s. Make sure you are paying yourself, all right? I've been paying myself along the way. Shoots and scores. Man, I'm going to tell you, I was getting frustrated with Ninja today, but I'm even more in many ways now. You don't want to know how much money I'd be up right now. If I felt like I could trade them all together, I would be... Do I even want to look at this? Do I even want to look at how much money I'd be up right now? It's going to absolutely hurt me. Oh my God, I'd be up $25,000. Oh, why? Why, Ninja? Why'd you do it to me on these days? Shake and bake, baby, AJ says. Shake and bake, baby. Just stay in the short now, folks. All right, look at the VIX. Look at the difference now in the VIX. Now the VIX is ripping. Now we can go down. Now you have point of control here. Now we back tested old point of control. So you should be taking more partials. Remember, partial, partial, partial. Next spot down, higher time frame algo, and then down into here. You will need this to stay heavy versus this for this continuation. Cladden, don't worry. There's nothing wrong with trading close. I know that this time it worked for you, but once we started breaking down and all the liquidity is breaking down, it's fine to be trailing close and locking in money. You can always get back in. You can always get back in. Nice, Leron. Yeah, lots of you should have made good money there. This move here was nice. Once we did this, rejecting this level here, there's your continuation. We'd like another one down to here now, really. But you're either still in this or you made good money. It's hurt my feelings knowing that would have been probably one of my best days of the year. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. Like when you have tech issues, like I talked about earlier, there is nothing you can do. You've just got to lump it. VIX is key here, folks, for me. All right, if you're some of you like, why does he keep looking at the VIX? Because this is an indication of risk on, risk off. And that 5-minute bar, remember when I was saying we want to see a 5-minute bar? I want to see a base above here, 5-minute flag, everything in unison. This morning, when we were doing this, disgusting. Once we did this, that became obvious. This is what I mean about confluence. I like seeing everything line up. I want to see the VIX line up so that we're going to go risk off if I'm looking for a short. I want to see the ES join in. I want to have clear liquidity levels that I can trade down to. I want to know one side's chopped. All the time we're in here, what was I saying? Be very careful. Don't trust this. Don't trust this. Someone's going to get hurt soon. Well, the bulls got hurt. And once we broke, this is so much easier to trade than this. So much easier. How many people got chopped up in here while they built and built and built and built? And once the flow zones start giving you clear levels, 1 trade, 2 trades, beautiful. You should be risk off now, though. You should have made your money. You're either sitting in this all the way down to the previous day low, in which case you're an absolute monster, and I'm very proud of you, or you're like me and you've just locked in a ton of money. Glad I'm finished for the day. See you tomorrow. Lovely. Point of control on MES 550975. Well, if you've got that as a target, aim for it. I would say also you got high time frame algo right there, 50750. That's where it's trying to trade down to. You get a liquidation break underneath 516. Right, so I'd be, if you're trading ES or MES, I'd be looking to cover in towards 516. Through there, you get a stop run. If they get heavy under 516, you trade to 511.25 very, very quickly. Under there, you trade into those levels that you're talking about now. It just took time this morning. I had to build this out. This, for those folks in Discord, if you go back to what I showed you, I would like to see early side of the week. Look at the orange arrow. We're starting to get it. All right, we're starting to get what we want to see. This is, like I said, I felt like this week we would get a good weekly model. I'm going to get a refill of coffee. Like now I can relax. Now I made my daily goal. Just going to relax. Down she goes. Down she goes. Then high time frame algo now hit that orange line. That will be a medium time frame level for some institutional level traders. They will be looking at this level we're trading into. Don't be surprised to see a little bit of stop start here. Look at this. Once we got that sell, we talk about this in Discord a lot. Once the flow zones start spreading and we come underneath the lower time frame algo, that probably was the key indication. It was still not an easy trade. That trade there I took, but this trade here became very, very obvious. All right, and now you're just holding. Look, everything now is sell continuation. Every time we go up, it's sell continuation. That will have to reclaim this for me to think about any buy right now. Lower we can go today, the better, and then we can look for weekly model Tuesday, Wednesday. I'd love that. I would absolutely love that for us, because I feel like the last few weeks has been pretty tough. We've made some all right money, but we've been in survival mode. I'd love it if this week we can have a great week. Do I make videos in the Discord for your students? Well, anyone in Discord has access to all my videos, which are on Teachable. So there's over 20 hours of videos there. Look at the VIX. So much better once we have clear trend. All right, like I said, don't be surprised to see a bit of stop start here. All right, this is a big level for institutional traders. All right, it is a big level. This higher time frame algo, this orange line, it's there for a reason. Not quite there yet on the ES. Weekly model, it's just something I teach. It's something that happens 80% of the time. It's something that I teach when you do the course. Don't know if you've done the course, but if you're doing the course, it's in there. I'm not going to give away any more than that. It is a lot of edge in that model. So yeah, thanks everyone for showing up today. Sorry about the tech issues earlier. I will try and get to the grips with that with OBS. Lots of you have been supporting the stream, and it's made a difference, folks. So, you know, I would think by next week or in the next 2 weeks, I'll have a all new setup for you here on stream. I'm probably going to get rid of the green screen, a nice new camera, some new lights, and a new website almost done. Everything almost done. It's taking a bit longer than I had anticipated, but it's always the way. And just want to improve this service for you as much as possible. So a little bit of a bid off higher time frame algo. Not surprising we talked about it. I expect that. This is a covering point. If I'm short, this is a covering point. This is based on how I know that they like to trade, areas that they like to look at. If we're looking left, we've swept all this liquidity. We've left sort of a double bottom here now. I wouldn't be surprised if we trade down into these if we're going to stay heavy. But you'd want to see drift higher and then sellers come back in. Remember, you want to see it build out this to go lower. Okay, if we start building here, I'm not thinking about short at that point. I'm probably thinking they're going to do some nasty rip. But you should have made your money. The low-hanging fruits have gone. The only thing left now is previous day low. And it doesn't have to come for it. This can be a pullback leg. If I just want to go over this. This can be a pullback leg if they want to go higher. All right. If their aim is to go higher, this can be a pullback leg on it. Their aim is to go higher. This can also be a trap from that point there. I would love, or even this can be the trap over here. I would prefer this. I'm gonna be honest. Why would I prefer that? Well, firstly, I don't think the economy has any right to be up here right now, given the tariff news. I don't think we've got any certainty. One, but it doesn't matter what I think. Secondly, Alex wants to invest long term. So long term, where does Alex want to invest? He really wants to buy around here, right? So Alex is looking to load up long term around here in the ETFs. So from a selfish point of view, want the market to move lower, so I can do that. And if we keep pumping higher, it's going to make it really hard because I'm currently cash, other than a very small amount in QQQ, and I would like to load up. So new tax year for UK businesses. So I've got another massive amount to put into my ISA, which I put yesterday. Those interested who are in the UK, I do my ISA with Trading 212. I think they have 0% commissions, and they will pay you 4.6% in a stocks and shares ISA, even if you're sitting in there in cash. Okay, and then you can manage your own portfolio. So you can trade your stocks and shares ISA throughout the year for 12 months, however you want. And if you have a big 12 months, that is completely tax-free. Just let that sink in for a minute for those of you who are from the UK. If you have a big 12 months, that is completely tax-free. No capital gains on that. Hero status. You know what I'm talking about, Aaron. For those in the US, it's the equivalent of be like your 401k or something. All right, spiders coming into key level here. Liquidity down at 46.80s. You look good. This honestly looks good for continuation. You know what I'm like? I like two legs when we do big moves. I like two legs. 1, 2, trap down. Why? Because we get buyers come in once, buyers come in twice, and then we sell back down and we use their liquidity to go lower. That's what I like. That's what I like to see. Just had all the coffee. My wife just woke up to get some. It's all gone. She can make another pot. She's all right. She'll survive. I didn't realize she hadn't had any. I just heard her like pick it up and thought, oh no. Slap on the wrist for Alex coming. All right, so trading back towards where we found sellers. All right, so let's think about this. Resistance. Resistance becomes support, 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 support. We need it to become resistance, all right? Big level. Simple, isn't it? Don't need to overcomplicate it. It's a big level. So if we sell in front of it, or we sell in it, we're looking for that move. If we reclaim it, then we think this basically becomes excess and shorts down here get stuck, and we do that move. Just Boris, I'm new to trading and I'm trying to figure out how to trade the S&P index. I'm using paper trading, but I'm having a hard time understanding how to trade it. So you want to trade it as futures, or are you trying to trade it as an ETF there, or are you trying to trade options there? Just BDOS. If you're looking to trade it as futures, then you want to be trading ES. All right, ES, or if you're new to trading, I would start with MES. All right, MES. Nice and easy. Make it easy for yourself. This is the futures for the S&P. MES and ES. When you're saying having a hard time understanding how to trade it, if you're new to trading, you probably need to do a bit of education on what you're looking at. You're welcome to do my course. I don't want to be a salesman here. The link's down below if you're interested. There's lots of free material on my YouTube as well. All right, so maybe head over to my YouTube, do some of the free courses and free education first. If you like how I teach and you want to know how to trade these indexes, then maybe do the course. But I'd always say, like, try it. Make sure you like how I teach first. It's important, because if you're going to spend 20 hours in front of a chart looking at me teach you, you've got to make sure you like how I teach. VIX pulling back here after sweeping all that liquidity. So VIX really now, you'd want to see VIX hold a bid of 25.60, 25.70. All right, you need to see VIX hold a bid of that. If VIX doesn't hold a bid of that or in front of that, then you're in a problem. But if VIX can hold a bid of that and build out a new flag to go higher again, next stop will be to take out the liquidity all the way at 26.50. If it can do that, then the market can make a new leg down. Right now, you need to be letting this build out the liquidity. If you're waiting for a short, let it build out liquidity. Wait for a second leg. Wait for a retest of some of those levels. Wait for it to roll over. Do not keep attacking front side in here. If you're still in this from here, you're good, right? If you're like, I'm going to wait, I've taken a partial and I'm going to try and sit through this, that's fine. Do not attack in here. All right, momentum right now is doing what? It's trying to do a lower time frame upside move. It's trying to do this. It will need to reject this and start producing lower highs and lower lows for you to risk off to go lower. If it doesn't reject this, you have liquidity here. It can do this move today. This can be a pullback leg, higher time frame. We've talked about it. This can be a daily pullback to go higher. Unfortunately, right now, but right now, where we are in the market on a daily, it's decision time. And this week will be decision time. I talked about it last week. I talked about it in a short. We are at a big over-under level on the daily. This level here will dictate what we do for the quarter, I would say. We stay under that, we can build liquidity out here to go lower. We come under and we reclaim it. We use this liquidity to go higher. All right. It is a massive level. Do not underestimate where we are trading right now. Not just here, but if you look back here, 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 like these are big, big, big levels. It is decision time. We're in a news market, right? This market will move on news. If something changes, we can move very quick. If Choppy boy comes out with Zhao and says, hey, we've done a deal, we're agreeing on 10%, unilateral tariffs, all agreed. Wow. Upside we go. Flying to the upside we go. They come out and say, no deal's been done. We did a 90-day pause. No countries want to agree a deal. Boom. Fresh lows we go. Right? And right now, we don't know what's going on. We're in no man's land. We like to price in. Remember, I always talk about market prices in ahead. We price in ahead. We're trying to price in news before it comes. Right now, we don't know what's happening. If we think the next 4 years is going to be bullish, we will start bidding up this market. If we think the next 3 years is going to be bearish, if we think it's going to be problematic, we will start selling this market. We're coming back towards these key levels now, aren't we? We're coming into GlobeEx. Probably got to move this up a tiny bit here. What's GlobeEx here? I want to make sure I get this right. 92s technically. Bottom of this. Probably slightly wrong here. About here. All right, that's GlobeEx. That's GlobeEx low. All right, so this level here is key. If we reclaim IB, if we get back inside this range here, this is not bearish at that point. This will be a failed auction down here. If we get back in here, this will happen. If we reject this, we should retest this area and maybe new lows. That's what you're looking at. You have 20 minutes left until lunch. Once we got that break on the hourly, it was much better. We talked about this here. If it rejected here, potential for that move lower. Once it came up, found the rejection, there's the move lower. Now we're into where? Point of origin. This is where we started this move. This can find bids here, remember. Which is why you have to be proactive into this range. Seattle Harbor is empty. Stores have limited to no stock in the next couple of weeks. What? Because nothing's coming in. Yeah, you're probably right. It's funny. I've got a call after this. I've got a friend at home who's launched a new business and he wants to talk about bringing it over here. But man, what a time to try and do an import business right now. Tough. What What's GlobeEx mean? GlobeEx? Do you mean back test? I don't know what GlobeEx is. Oh, GlobeEx. GlobeEx. Sorry, GlobeEx. GX, GlobeEx. This is your Asia London low right here. It's where they traded down to overnight. All right, so traders overnight who bought the market, that was their stop. That's why we washed hard under it. All right, so if you were a buyer overnight, you got stopped out there. So if we back test you here, you should become a seller. If you're not already out, if you're a lazy person, see, they're back testing it, they've become sellers. All right, so you need to just be careful if they dance and do this. This is starting to show you a willingness to move lower here because it's rejecting GlobeEx. We are rejecting GlobeEx. We are rejecting flow zones. This is what you want to see. Yes, GlobeEx is the overnight session. So when I say GlobeEx high, GlobeEx low, it's the extreme points. It's the high point and the low point from overnight. That's exactly what it is. So if you get the new flow zone indicator on NinjaTrader, it plots it all for you. It does absolutely everything for you. You don't even need to think anymore. You turn up to the screens and the work's done. No worries, Adam. They're just liquidity levels, all right? They're just the same as anything else. They're where traders are trapped. There you go. Strong selling stepping in again here. VIX is trying to find a bid off those levels we just talked about. 2570 to 2560s. It's found a bid there at 2572. It's trying to create a new flag to go higher. If it succeeds in doing this and it gets a breakout of the highs, this market will go risk off for a move to previous day low. If it fails, if this is a failed follow through into 26 and VIX found some selling, then we get relief in this market. Decision time here. VIX is trying to get going here, folks. Decision time here. These buyers need to hold up here. If they don't hold up here, it would be a problem for this market. So far, they're holding up pretty well. And this is the sort of two-leg pullback and trading back downside. If they get stuck, and we trade back towards the lows. If they don't get stuck, they go all the way back to GlobeEx, I would say. So if they reject here, if the next push fails, you get that right shoulder. If the next push fails, you get that move here. If they reclaim, then the squeeze is on. Starting to fail, isn't it? Starting to see it. If they get the breakdown here, you're going back down towards low of day. It's a big, big level. Big, big levels down here. So far, protecting higher time frame algo. I would not be surprised if they let this go. Especially if the VIX is key here versus 26, in my opinion. Ooh, VIX, a bit of a rejection there at 26. It's had a couple of attempts there in the last few seconds. Big, big levels here, folks. Big, big levels here. All of the market currently red. That candle on VIX is not pretty. That was the level. That 26 was the level. Either they build out this right shoulder and we go back towards lows here, or they get a bit of a trap and they go straight back through GlobeEx. My bet is to go lower here, just based on what's going on. But you want to see VIX get through 26 for some confluence. Here's your breakdown. Fantastic. Now, do they get follow through here? This is the question. Can you get follow through all the way back down to current day's lows and then previous day's lows? Beautiful. So that's why I always talk about that second leg on a pullback, because this is what it offers you. Now you know there's lots of buyers in it. If long as they stay heavy versus this, you should get this here. And if we break that, This is probably enough liquidity to get you down to here. So this is the target down here. If they reclaim this, then we go all the way back up. Like I said, I'm sort of want to see VIX reclaim 26 here. That's where confluence would come in. Also, you've only got 10 minutes until lunch. Just be aware of that. So far, rejecting point of control. This is looking good for a fade further down. You look all right here, folks. But bias right now is lower. Momentum downside is lower. Right, momentum on the day. Failed breakout of the highs. Failed to hold the highs. That instantly says lower. Built the liquidity. This took a long time to build out. Breaks down underneath initial balance. Lower. Underneath GlobeEx. Lower. Back tested GlobeEx. Lower. All the time we're doing that, bias is lower until it proves otherwise to me. What you need to be aware of is where is the areas we're coming into. Right? The areas we're coming into. Look at the daily. Want to be very, very careful here if you're trading for lower, because they can absolutely step in here, can't they? Where they absorbed last week, this is a big level. If they want to do that, this today is a pullback leg. All right, if they're going to be bullish on the daily, make sure you're on the right chart. Today, this move down here, buyers can step in here and go upside, can't they? I don't know if they do it today. They might wait for tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. They might never do it. It might be that this was enough and they're going to do this. We don't know. I'm just giving you thesis of what's setting up. Location for the short, you want to be very careful in here. This is why you want to be covering into these moves. But so far, I would say, based on what I'm seeing today, bias is lower until it proves otherwise. You've got clear levels now, haven't you? You've got a two leg, 1, 2. You've got a push-pull. As long as it stays heavy versus this, you've got this move down. Reclaim this. I don't like the shorts. But so far, this looks good for a move lower. Micro head and shoulders. This move here. This is what you want. You need them. If you're in this, you have to respect this. Right? You have to be covering a little bit into this. And then once we break that, you're looking for that move down there. Again, you need to see VIX get through 26. If VIX gets through 26, it should go straight up to 26.25. A break of 26.25 should allow us to get the liquidity to 26.50s and then potentially all the way up to 27.20s. You need VIX to like start pushing though. What you don't want to see on the VIX is a lower high start to be set. That will be a problem if you're looking for shorts in this market. For VIX, I mean, I pay for everything on TradingView. So I don't know which data it's included in, but I pay for everything on TradingView. There you go. VIX rejecting 26 there. This is what I'm talking about. You need to be very careful. If VIX rejects 26, if it makes a lower low here, shorts are off the table here. Remember, we've taken low-hanging fruit. That's the one thing I would say. What was the low-hanging fruit today? Once we started looking for shorts. Remember, we were getting shorts here. So, this low here, low-hanging fruit 1. GlobeEx, low-hanging fruit 2. Point of control 3. Higher time frame algo 4. The only thing left right now is down here. So far, building out. It will need to reject here. And what I'm seeing on VIX is not very good. That continuation lower. Again, if they reclaim up here, you want to be careful because then you've got this is your higher low. If they get above that, that's confirmation of a higher high, and maybe they come back into initial balance. It's very, very tricky just because of how they're positioning it versus GlobeEx versus IB. They can build out if they want to do what they did earlier and do this. They can. That will either allow this move or this move. They lack liquidity today. You can tell they lack liquidity today. So they're having to take their time building it. News hitting the wire there, I think. Let me check this out. Let's see on Market Watch, they're talking about Trump in his first 100 days. The NQ is cracked out compared to the ES. Yeah, it's a very different beast, the NQ. The NQ is all about hunting liquidity with extreme moves. The ES is more of a slow moving, trending kind of play. But that's because the ES is based on 500 stocks and only 40% geared towards the Mag 7. The NQ is based on only 100 stocks and 60% geared towards the Mag 7. So it's very different. So failing to take out the high there, you can see back and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. How long we got left? 5 minutes till lunch here, folks. Sorry about this morning again. I'm really, really sorry about that tech issue this morning. This is unfortunate. Everything I went over this morning started to play out. We were saying we're bullish unless we see a failed breakout of the highs. Once we saw that failed breakout of the highs, it happened. But unfortunately, OBS let me do my pre-market show to absolutely no one. Building the liquidity out here. I don't think I'll be coming back this afternoon. I think we've kind of hit some pretty big levels. Maybe they fade it a little bit more, but I really want to see where we open for tomorrow now. This is what I wanted to see today. A failed breakout of the high. That's a pullback inside. This sets us up really nicely for the next few days. If buyers come back into these higher time frame levels on the daily, we can think about an expansion. If they fail to come back in, we can think about this being a failed breakout and after filling the old gap and a wash back down. Any questions before I sign off, team? Hopefully most of you made money today. At least more than half of you on stream haven't hit that like button. Do me a favor, just smash that like button before we sign off. It just helps my channel grow, makes a big difference. Obviously, any money I make from the channel goes straight back into making this a better channel for you. Like I said, you've allowed me to reinvest in some nice new equipment, which I've got to set up. You're welcome, Leron. You're welcome, everyone. No problem at all. Nice, George. See you tomorrow. Paul, they won't do that, and I'll tell you why. Oh, I don't think they will, because that's the whole reason they bought Tradeovate. It's for that issue, so that people can trade on Tradeovate. Hey, Christy, well done, buddy. Christy passing 2 accounts today. Congratulations, everyone. Give Christy a congratulations. Callan Travels, happy with 120 profit. Yeah, base hits, man. Base hits is the way. This is starting to wash here. ES coming back down towards current day lows. Here we go. VIX now starting to do that sort of flag look that we were talking about. Right into lunchtime, though, is not ideal. But we're building out this liquidity. If it stays heavy here, there is a move down to previous day low, maybe later in the session for you. Almost there, folks. Another 18 likes. Let's get up to 100. Do me a favor, just before we sign off. Doesn't cost you a thing, helps the channel grow. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with no more OBS issues. Here's VIX reclaiming 26s now. Remember, VIX is looking to create that sort of flag all the way up to 26, 25s. Christy saying did it little by little over 2 weeks. Practice patience, thanks to Alex A. It's not thanks to me. I can only tell you what to do. I can only give you guys pep talks, but you all have to put the work in. So massive pat on the back to you, Christy, because it's not easy. So easy to just not care about evals and absolutely send it. So for putting the work in, congratulations. Creating good habits. And good habits eventually pay. One more minute left. What would I be looking at the rest of the day? Exactly the same thing we've talked about, all right? Shorts versus GlobeEx, especially if they stay heavy here for a move down to here. At that point, I'd probably be risk off unless you get a major liquidity break. If they reclaim any of this level in here, do not be short at that point. All right, if we start to reclaim and VWAP trades down, and we start to reclaim GlobeEx, and we start to reclaim IB low, and we start to reclaim VWAP, they can drift up. You've had the easy trades, and it wasn't that easy, but really, zooming out, these were the trades here. Once we broke down, microstructure, flow zone spread out, these were the easy trades, right? You've had the easy trades. If you had a layup this morning, ask yourself, do you need to be here this afternoon? Any layup on a Monday morning where there's no news is very, very good. But I would stay short on this until it proves otherwise. Until it starts reclaiming those levels above, we know buyers are trapped. Where you don't want to be short, all right, let's go over this as well. You do not want to be taking new short positions into old value area lows and old point of controls, all right? You want the shorts from up here down into that and then down into here, maybe this point of control. If it lets go of this value area low, maybe we go down to here. You can also see it on the TPO. Right now, we're just hanging out even. This old, why can't I draw? This old value area high, I feel like I say that all the time. Value area high, we let go of that point of control. We let go of that value area low. We let go of that single prints, but I don't think we do that today unless there's some major news. Nothing really moving this market today. This is nothing more than a bit of a pullback after what was a ginormous squeeze, all right? The last week, just go into a 5-minute quickly. This was a big old squeeze, wasn't it? Okay, this is our top range. If we leave buyers stuck here later in the week, this is possible. But until that point, we've got to sort of assume that pullbacks are really forming something in here to go higher until it proves to us the other way. If you're still in this short, you look good. You're going to get a breakdown here. If this goes previous day low, you're going to be laughing right into lunch. And make sure you're paying yourself into this current low of day. By the way, ES is now tagged into that higher time frame algo. So ES joining the party into higher time frame algo and finding a bid there. All right, folks, that's it from me. Those in Discord, I'll pop in later. I don't think I'll be active given the issues I've had this morning, but still managed to lock in some nice money. I'm always grateful and thankful for some good money. And those who join me for free each and every day, if this is your first time here, I'll be here tomorrow. All right, same thing tomorrow morning, 9:15 pre-market show, trading all the way into lunch with you. We should have some really nice trades set up this week. I feel better about where we're at as a market now. It's starting to shape up for some nice trades both sides. So let's have a great week, team. Let's stay positive, be kind to yourself, and use hard stops, right? Make sure you're using hard stops in this market. Peace and love. See you soon.